If you're over 60 and you feel tingling, numbness, or burning in your hands or feet, listen closely. It's not your genes. It's not your medications. It's four invisible nerve toxins hiding in your everyday life. And one of these toxins is something your doctor almost never tests for, even when nerve damage has already started. Stay with me, because what I'm about to show you could explain why your nerves are struggling and what you can still do about it. Maybe your feet feel numb when you step out of bed. Maybe your fingers tingle when you button a shirt. Most women are told this is normal at your age. But here's what research actually shows. So-called age-related nerve damage is often toxin-driven, and in many cases, partially reversible if you catch it early. Neurologists call this condition peripheral neuropathy, and it affects millions of women over 60. The National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke confirms that toxic exposure is one of the most common preventable causes of nerve damage because these substances slowly strip away the protective coating around your nerves. In the next few minutes, I'll show you the four worst nerve toxins, from the most common to the most dangerous. These aren't hidden in exotic chemicals. They're found in things you use, eat, or touch every day, and the research is crystal clear. And the last one on my list? That's the toxin the Centers for Disease Control, the CDC, have identified as especially problematic for women over 60. Let's start with number 4, heavy metals, lead, mercury, and arsenic. Your nerves are like electrical wires in your body. Heavy metals act like rust on those wires. What makes heavy metals especially dangerous is that symptoms often start years after exposure, when no one connects the dots. The Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry explains that heavy metals like lead, mercury, and arsenic interfere with nerve function at the cellular level. They block the enzymes your nerve cells need to transmit signals. The result? Numbness, tingling, weakness. So where are these toxins hiding? Lead can be present in old plumbing. Mercury is found in certain fish, like tuna and swordfish. Arsenic has been detected in studies of rice and rice-based products. A study published in the Journal of Occupational and Environmental Medicine showed that chronic exposure to low levels of heavy metals can lead to peripheral neuropathy, especially in older adults, whose detox systems work more slowly. Here are easy, practical steps you can do. Test your tap water, especially if you live in an older home. Limit large predatory fish to once a week. Choose smaller fish, like sardines or salmon, instead. Rotate your grains. Don't rely only on rice. If you have symptoms, ask your doctor about heavy metal testing. A simple blood test can reveal elevated levels. Number 3. Pesticides, the invisible nerve poisons. The most alarming part about pesticides? You can do everything right and still be exposed. These chemicals are specifically designed to damage nervous systems in insects, but research shows they damage human nerves too. The National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences explains that organophosphate pesticides block an enzyme called acetylcholinesterase. That enzyme is essential for nerve communication. When it's blocked, your nerves can't signal properly. Where are you exposed? It's not just farmers. Studies show pesticide residues on conventionally grown fruits and vegetables. The Environmental Working Group publishes the annual Dirty Dozen, a list of the most contaminated foods. A study in Environmental Health Perspectives found that women with higher pesticide exposure had a significantly increased risk of neurological symptoms, including peripheral neuropathy. What you can do: wash all fruits and vegetables thoroughly under running water. Buy organic versions of the Dirty Dozen, including strawberries, spinach, kale, and apples. Peel produce when possible, since pesticides often concentrate on the skin. You don't need to buy everything organic. The Clean 15, like avocados, corn, and pineapple, have natural protective layers and tend to be less contaminated. And if you're thinking, I don't do any of these, stay with me, because the next two toxins affect women who eat well, exercise, and follow their doctor's advice. Number 2. Alcohol, the socially accepted nerve toxin. Number 2 is controversial, but the science is clear on alcohol. This is not about quitting forever. It's about understanding how aging changes the rules. It is not about lacking willpower. Alcohol is simply a direct nerve toxin, especially for women over 60. Most women who develop alcoholic neuropathy were never heavy drinkers. The National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism explains that alcohol damages nerves in two ways. First, it is directly toxic to nerve cells. Second, it blocks the absorption of thiamine, vitamin B1, a vitamin essential for nerve health. Why are women 60 plus more vulnerable? As you age, your metabolism changes. You have less body water to dilute alcohol. Your liver processes alcohol more slowly. That means the same amount of alcohol hits your nerves harder than it did at 30. A study in the Journal of the Peripheral Nervous System showed that chronic alcohol consumption, even moderate amounts over many years, can lead to alcoholic neuropathy. Symptoms include burning foot pain, numbness, and muscle weakness. This is what doctors recommend. If you drink, follow guidelines for older adults. No more than one standard drink per day. Have at least 2 alcohol-free days each week. If you already feel tingling or numbness, talk to your doctor about taking a break from alcohol. Alcoholic neuropathy can be partially reversible if caught early. Studies show that alcohol abstinence combined with thiamine supplementation can allow nerve regeneration. But the key is early action. Number 1. Elevated blood sugar, the silent nerve poison. And here is number 1. Now, you don't need diabetes to damage your nerves. The research is unmistakable. Research shows that high blood sugar damages nerves through a process called glycation. Sugar sticks to proteins inside your nerve cells. These sugar-coated proteins stop functioning properly. At the same time, high blood sugar narrows the tiny blood vessels that supply your nerves with oxygen. The eye-opening truth: you don't need full-blown diabetes for nerve damage to begin. Prediabetes, even mildly elevated blood sugar, is enough. The American Diabetes Association reports that about 50% of people with diabetes develop some form of neuropathy. But what's more concerning is this: nerve damage is already being detected in people with prediabetes. A study published in Diabetes Care found that women over 60 with undiagnosed prediabetes already had measurable nerve damage years before they ever received a diabetes diagnosis. The real problem is that most people with prediabetes don't know they have it. Symptoms are often subtle or absent, and at this stage, life usually feels completely normal. This is what you should do now. Get your fasting blood glucose and your HbA1c tested. If your fasting glucose is in the prediabetes range, 100 to 125 milligrams per deciliter, act now. Reduce refined carbohydrates, white bread, sugar, sweets. Replace them with whole grains, vegetables, and legumes. Studies show that losing just 5 to 7% of body weight and doing 30 minutes of walking per day can reduce the risk of diabetes and nerve damage by over 50%. That comes from the Diabetes Prevention Program. Before making any changes, talk to your doctor, especially if you take medications or have existing conditions. This information does not replace medical advice. If you have symptoms like tingling, numbness, or burning pain, don't wait. Nerve damage is often reversible when caught early. Here's the takeaway. There are 4 major nerve toxins: heavy metals, pesticides, alcohol, and elevated blood sugar. All of them are preventable. All are backed by solid science. And all are especially relevant for women over 60. You don't have to change everything at once. Just start with one toxin and take it one step at a time. Remember, your nerves can heal, but only if you act now.